Hi everybody. This week we're going to be talking about leopard geckos and their tails. This is Sinka. I haven't really shown him on here other than one picture. And he's obviously a leopard gecko. Adventurous. But as you can see, his tail is but a nub. And that's because when I first got him, I didn't know that he needed to shed, so I didn't have the proper things in his tank to help him shed because I was still trying to pick everything up. And when I thought he was shedding normally, it turned out he wasn't, and he ended up seriously damaging the tail right at the middle area of his tail. And as you can see, it never grew back. So for a little tip, when they're shedding, it's best to watch them shed, or at least check on them at least once an hour, just to check on them, because usually between an hour to as much as 5 hours, they end up becoming white, and you can tell that they need to shed. And you'll be able to tell because when you end up touching him, he doesn't need to shed right now, when you end up touching him and you kind of move their skin when it's white up a little bit or down a little bit, you'll notice that it starts to pull away from the body. And that's a good indicator on telling you that your gecko is ready to shed. And it's always good to have the algae stuff that they rub on, rocks that are lightly damp, even just a larger bowl of water, not so that they drowned, that's not a good thing, but just like a kind of like a little cover filled with water, that also will help them shed because they actually use it as a pool. I should know because all my geckos, they have more wide dishes that have water in it, not deep, just wide, and they just use that as a pool when they're shedding, and it helps the skin come off really nice. That's why if you notice some geckos, if they aren't provided with good shedding materials, even if it's just water, you'll notice that they'll end up losing toes. They can get eye infections from them not being able to get, you know, their eye scales and stuff taken off, and sometimes, like I said, they can end up damaging their tail. If it's not taken care of properly at all either, they'll completely lose the tail, which is not what happened to him, but kind of what happened. Since I didn't catch it before, too much damage was done. So, and then another thing that's interesting too on why your gecko can lose its tail is a self-defense. Self-defense in the wild for a gecko is to have its tail completely remove itself as a distraction to prey animals. So if you notice that when you pick up your gecko or someone else picks up your gecko and they're not used to them, they might completely drop their tail. Now if they completely drop their tail, it will grow back. But obviously his didn't because it wasn't completely detached. And so that is the end of this video. I'm hoping next week we might actually see some hamster babies, but I'm not entirely sure yet. So we'll hopefully find that out next week. Alright, bye!